So hi everyone. Okay. So we are now in this subject, so data structure in algorithms. Okay. So when we say data structure and algorithms, so we will be dealing those algorithms. So different algorithms that you should know, that you should be aware. Okay. So for you to at least create then understand. So firstly, you need to understand first those process, okay, in order for you to create a good algorithm, for you to able to create uh, those algorithms use for to apply those certain scenario, certain process that the system, okay, acquire and implement. Then also you can apply that in mobile applications, okay, desktop applications, so web and so on. So there's a lot of things that you can at least implement or apply those algorithms. So but then you should be aware on those process first, okay, so for you to do the step by step, okay, process in doing the algorithm. Okay, so for now we will be discussing this week 2 topic, so introduction to algorithm, properties of algorithm, notation for programs, and then some simple programs. Okay, so for this learning outcome, so we have 3 learning outcomes. So define an algorithm and its characteristics, and then properties of algorithms, and then lastly is transform an algorithm into a program that you can use, okay, in the future system, future applications. Okay, so in introduction to algorithms, so in computer science, okay, this is the field where we study about how to solve a problem effectively and efficiently with the aid of computers. So a way of arriving at a solution from the problem domain is called algorithm. So let's say for example, if you encounter some problem, okay, so definitely there is an algorithm uh, that needs to at least solve that certain problem. Okay, so in when you solve an algorithm, or when you solve a problem that uses an application that uses a computer, so meaning you're dealing with those algorithm, those process that you might use in solving those problem necessarily for computer application, web, so mobile applications. Okay, so meaning you apply the algorithm. Okay, so in our case, okay, because I'm a computer science graduate, so we are dealing with those different algorithms. Okay, so again, for us to know how to develop the algorithm, so we just need to at least learn those step-by-step process, okay, in solving the needed, okay, algorithm. So firstly, we will need to identify those problem scenario that we encounter, okay, that that we encounter during the process. Okay, let's say for example, sa enrollment system. Okay, why we need to have an enrollment system? Okay, so sabi nila medyo matrabaho daw. Okay, hindi natatrack yung ito yung mga problema, hindi natatrack yung mga conflict schedule, hindi natatrack yung mga yung students, kung sino yung mga naka-enroll, so mahirap i-track definitely. Okay, when you do those okay, manual process in enrollment, okay, so let's say for example ililista ko kung sino yung mga naka-enroll one at a time, ililista ko lahat, and then saang subject naka-enroll, ano yung schedule, no? So basically masakit sa ulo. Okay, so if you do that, okay, medyo komplikado, medyo masakit sa ulo. Okay, so kaya nga ginagawa ng system, kaya ginagawa ng process, ng computer system process, okay, para at least mas maging maayos or organized, okay, na nadedetect mo yung mga conflict, yung mga problem, okay, in those scenario, in those process na ang hirap, okay, ang hirap ma-trace using the manual process, okay? So just like yung pen and paper. So ililista mo lang, okay? So ang hirap po kasi malaman. Okay, ang hirap mag-backtrack, ang hirap mag-trace. Paano pag libo yung student mo? So try to imagine, di ba? So kaya nga gumawa ng enrollment system para at least organize, naka-track lahat. Okay, makikita mo na lahat doon. So integrated and naka-network, and then okay, kung online pa yan, mas okay. Kasi ang problem, when you do that online, okay, when you implement that online, so ang daming risk, okay? Risky kasi yung security. Okay, so kasi you need to protect those datas of all, okay, yung staff, okay, yung personnels, okay, faculty, admin, students, okay, especially students. You need to make sure that those data, okay, that those data will be or will not be go to the hands of those hacker, okay, kasi pag nakuha nila yung mga data na yun, so pwede nilang gamitin against us, against those students, maging threat, okay. So those scenarios, okay, kaya nga so medyo risky when your system or application is being online. Okay, but then mas maayos, 'di ba? Kasi you can enroll, okay. So pwede ka mag-enroll, so kahit wala ka doon sa school, so using a remote or network connection, internet connection, so you can try doing that. Okay, also in encoding of grades, so we can also encode grades, okay, those systems, okay. So yung tinatawag na school automate. Pag school automate ngayon kasi usually yung mga school automate ngayon is lahat po sakop niya na enrollment, yung grading, okay, so faculty, yung deans, accounts, and then also yung admission, accounting, registrar, and so on. So lahat po. Okay, so those are systems na medyo big or mabigat-bigat na kasi it costs millions. Okay, so that systems I think is cost niya is 5 to 6 million. Okay, so anyway, so those are the process. Okay, so yun, enrollment, and lumawak na, naging school automate na, nakafocus nung una, nakafocus lang sa enrollment. Then currently, so since you need to apply, okay, those systems in your company, so nagkaroon na ng school automate kasi syempre school, okay, pag school automate, so lahat po andun na. Okay, yung organization naman, ibang organization, ibang company, ibang system naman yung i-handle, okay, or gagawin. Then so we have two major subfields of computer science. So we have the design and analysis. Okay, so in designing, so at least there's a lot of things that we need to at least kumbaga i-set aside. Okay, so kailangan mo i-manage yung design. Kailangan mong okay, kumbaga mag-imagine ka. Okay, mag-i-imagine ka ano yung mga design mo, ano yung mga content ng bawat form, okay, na gagawin mo, and then those requirements needed, okay, so those requirements needed in doing those or in applying the whole process, kasi ito yun na eventually yung design na yon, okay, so alamin mo ngayon, okay. Again, titignan mo, check mo kung ano yung mga needed requirements. Let's say, for example, in enrollment system, okay? So, pag sinabing enrollment system, medyo malawak yan, medyo malaki. Okay, malaki ang sakop niyan. So, design, okay? So, ano ba yung magiging content ng form ko? Okay, let's say, for example, enrollment official. Okay, ano yung mga, pag sinabing enrollment official, pwedeng ano yan, limited yung content niya, unlike kay registrar. Kasi when we say enrollment system, andyan po si registrar. Si registrar yung pinaka-admin. Okay, yung head ng registrar, yun po yung pinaka-admin, and then so yung registrar staff, ito yung account nila, ito yung nakikita nila. And then yung mga enrollment staff, so ito rin nakikita nila. Medyo limited. Okay? So medyo limited yung bawat content na makikita ng bawat user. Okay? So kailangan natin alamin kung sino-sino yung gagamit. Okay? Para in that case, malaman natin kung ano yung bawat content nung bawat form nila. Okay? Alam niyo naman yan, di ba? When we log in to a certain account, to a certain application, okay? So, websites, let's say for example, so limited lang yung content natin. Just like Facebook. So, ito lang po yung nakikita natin, di ba? So, unlike dun sa mga developer, dun sa mga admin, so ito yung nakikita nila. Kasi, di ba? They have the access. So, ayun. So, you need to at least know the whole process, okay, and then after that, analysis, okay? So, i-analyze mo, okay, yung bawat content nung gagawin mo, design. So, kailangan ba ito? Bakit kailangan ito? Okay? So, bakit ko kailangan tanggalin to? Bakit hindi ko kailangan ilagay ito? So, you need to at least balance and then analyze those things that you need to apply or implement in your system. So, hindi kayong basta-basta kasi nagde-design, hindi yung basta-basta nagko-program. So, you need to at least know those requirements needed, okay, in order for you to create a system. Okay? So, firstly, identify or if there is a need to interview a personnel, so go ahead. Kasi, in doing the interview, okay, you can get those requirements, you can get those data you needed. Okay, ito pala. So, magkakaroon ka ng idea. Okay? So, ito pala yung kailangan ko for this account. Okay? So, just like in my case, pag gumagawa ko ng system, okay, let's say for example, may student nagpagawa ng thesis. Yan. Okay? So, alamin ko muna lahat, okay, bago ko tanggapin. Okay? Kasi hindi naman pwedeng tanggap ka ng thesis, yung papagawa ng system, hindi mo alam yung buong content. Okay? So, tatanungin mo lang siya pag ginagawa mo na yung system. So, mahirap po yun, ha? So, pag gumawa kayo ng system, bago po kayo gumawa, bago niya accept yung project na yun. Okay? So, bago niya accept yung project na yun, so you should be aware on those scenario, on those process, on those requirements needed. Okay? So, basically, those things, yun po yung pinaka-basic needs. Okay? Basic requirements. Ano ba yung need? Bakit kailangan gawa ng system? Okay? So, pag-iisipan mo muna, evaluate mo muna. Kasi ito yung problem. Ito yung mga ganyan, blah, blah, blah. So, in my experience, in my case, okay, nalalaman ko ngayon kung gagawan ba or need ba talaga gawa ng system. So, ano ba siya? Websites ba siya? Mobile apps lang ba siya? Okay, desktop application lang ba siya? So, in those scenario, in those cases na pagka-interview ko dun sa nagpapagawa, okay, so nalalaman ko, okay, yung mga scenario behind that. So, in that case, na-evaluate ko, okay, yung need na, kailangan ng system to, kailangan ng apps nito, okay? So, in those interview, okay, nalalaman mo kung need ba talaga. Okay, so kailangan mo mag-interview ka, kausapin mo yung involved, okay, doon sa process na yon. Just like in enrollment system, okay, sino yung kakausapin mo doon? Siyempre, kausapin mo yung registrar. Ano yung mga ginagawa ng staff? Ano yung ginagawa ng registrar? Yung pinaka-head nila. Okay, anong ginagawa? So, ito yung mga content. Okay? Ito yung content ng register staff. Ito yung content ng admin. So, ito yung makikita ko. So, definitely, okay, so these are the needed content for each design, okay, for each process. So, in that case, nalalaman ko ngayon. Okay, so, ito pala yung meron. Let's say for example, ano ba meron doon sa enrollment system? Okay, let's say for example, enrollment, enroll ka ta. Yung student number mo, unang-una yon. Pag tinype ko yung student number mo, check sa database. If you are existing on that database, kailangan nag-exist ka doon. Kasi kung hindi, baka hindi ka estudyante or baka hindi pa nalagay yung information mo dun sa database upon the enrollment. Baka kailangan mo munang dumaan kay admission, di ba? So, si admission kasi siya yung unang-una. Okay, siya po yung nagbibigay ng temporary ID, okay, temporary numbers, okay, for you to at least enroll. So, doon din, ine-enter yung mga basic information, basic requirements na sinubmit mo, okay, sa admission. Then, before ka i-cater for enrollment. Okay? Then, so, again, what is an algorithm? So, algorithm means process or rules for computer calculation. Okay, an algorithm, so name for the 9th century Persian mathematician, okay, Al-Khwarizmi, so is simply a set of rules for carrying out some calculation, so either by hand or more usually on a machine. Okay, so we also have the Euclid's algorithm. So most famous algorithm in history dates from well before the time of the ancient Greek, and then we have also the Euclid's algorithm for calculating the greatest common divisor of two integers. So most likely there's a lot of algorithm exists, okay? So pwede kang gumawa ng sarili mong algorithm eh. Ano bang ginagawa ng algorithm na to? Let's say for example, okay? So in your case, itong algorithm na to is pinaprocess niya, automatic niya pinaprocess yung mga request. So let's say for example, may nag-text sa ang system mo is let's say for example, yung system mo, okay, pag malalaman ng student, okay, yung schedule niya, let's say for example, schedule niya or yung mga classes schedule niya, let's say for example, okay, itong student na to is naka-enroll sa ganito. Okay, nakalimutan ko yung reg form ko eh, 'di ba? Pag minsan ganun yung nangyayari. So most likely, ayan, pwede ka mag-text sa system. Okay? Kasi sometimes, 'di ba, nakakalimutan natin yung reg form, nakakalimutan natin yung mga subjects, hindi tayo aware. Okay? So, yung system na 'yon na gagawin mo, okay, can at least search or let's say for example, pag nag-text ka doon sa system na 'yon, so ibibigay niya yung mga list of subjects mo. Okay? So yung mga list of subjects mo, so ito yung pinaprocess ni system. So let's say for example, next mo, nag-text ka sa system, student number. Okay, and then yung subject. So ito yung keyword. Okay, subject or enrolled subject. Ito yung keyword mo, and then student number. Ite-text mo sa system. So yung system ngayon, automatic niya ibabato or ibibigay sa iyo doon sa respondent. Okay? Doon sa nag-send or nag-text doon sa system. So automatic niya ibabato 'yon. Basta merong signal and then load yung SIM na ginagamit. Okay? So, in that case, okay, ang tawag mo doon is subject or enrolled subject request. So, ayun yung algorithm mo, 'di ba? Kasi nag-automatic siyang nagre-reply ng subject schedule mo upon texting, 'di ba? So, yun yung tawag mo ngayon. Yun yung algorithm mo. Okay? So, again, so, depende naman sa process ng algorithm. Ano bang ginagawa niya? Usually, nakadepende kung ano yung ginagawa niya. Let's say, for example, data compression. So, pag sinabing data compression, alam niyo po yung RAR or zip, di ba? Usually, yun po yung data compression. Let's say, for example, yung 1 gig mo na file, zinip mo, nilagay mo sa zip file. Okay, kinocompress niya po yun. Kaya pansinin niyo, pag minsan, or madalas, okay, when you compress, let's say for example, 1 gig, nagiging sometimes 400 gig, 400 MB, 500 MB, or 600 MB. Okay, so na-compress niya na yung data. Okay, when you use or when you apply the RAR or yung zip, okay, pag in-apply po natin yon. So yun naman usually pag nagta-transfer kayo ng system, so basically ang ginagawa, nilalagay sa zip or sa RAR, okay, para ma-compress po yon. Okay, yun po yung algorithm, data compression. Okay, so maraming data compression algorithm ang involved. Okay, so marami din, let's say for example, yung ano po, encryption, decryption, marami rin klase ng encryption, decryption. So anong gagamitin mo? Andyan yung AES, andyan yung SHA-1, so SHA-2, SHA-3, okay, so MD5, okay, so yun po yung mga encryption algorithm, okay, hashing and hashing algorithm, yung DES, okay, so a lot of things, okay, daming algorithm, okay, so kaya nga, it's up to you, okay, when you develop or when you are planning to develop an algorithm, so pag-iisipan nyo or iisipin nyo kung saan nyo i-apply, anong gagawin or anong gagawin ng algorithm na yon. Okay, kaya nga hindi basta-basta gumagawa ng algorithm, so kailangan mong malaman yung bawat process, okay, for you to create an algorithm. Okay? So, because if you have an idea on each process, definitely you can create a step-by-step process for you to create your algorithm, for you to solve the problem. Okay? In this case, when you solve the problem with your step-by-step process, okay, a set of algorithm, set of codes, so you can have your final version of algorithms. Okay, so yun po. Then an algorithm is defined to be a sequence of steps which, if followed, accomplishes a particular task. Yes, sequence of steps. Okay, magkakasunod po yan. Step 1, ito yung gagawin. Step 2, step 3, and so on. Okay, so ito yung mga gagawin. Okay, so basically sequence of steps. Then every algorithm must satisfy the following criteria. Okay, consumes 0 or more inputs, okay, then produces at least one output, and then we have the definiteness, and then finiteness, and then effectiveness. Okay, so properties of algorithms. So an algorithm must possess the following properties. Okay, so when we say finiteness, the algorithm must terminate within finite time, so a finite number of steps. So let's say for example, nagawa niya na, okay, nagawa niya na yung pinapagawa. Okay, so dapat magta-terminate na yung program, titigil na. Or, depende po yan. Okay, let's say for example, kasi pag sinabi natin magta-terminate yung program, titigil na. Mag-i-stop na pa siya. Okay, so siguro, okay, in other system, so it can be possible. Pero yung iba kasi, running yung system. Okay, just like yung kanina. Okay, when you request your enrolled subject, magte-text ka lang, okay, so bibigay na sa'yo. So yun, continuous process yun. Okay, so binigay sa'yo, okay, and then, from there, hindi magte-terminate yung program. Okay, susunod ulit siya. Titignan niya ulit kung may nag-text. Okay, so i-check niya ulit kung may nag-text, okay. Pag may nag-text, ipaprocess niya ulit. Okay, after processing, yun, bigay ulit. Then, titignan niya ulit. Yun yung continuous process. Okay? And then, definiteness steps enumerated must be precise and ambiguous. Okay? And then, ibig sabihin, maayos. Okay? Maayos po yung steps. Maayos yung gagawing process. Okay? And then, para clear. Okay? So, hindi yung gumagawa kayo ng program, gumagawa kayo ng process nyo, gumagawa kayo ng algorithm, hindi ganun kaayos. So, definitely, medyo magulo yung magiging program nyo. Okay, effectiveness. Each step must be easily convertible to a code. Yeah. Kaya nga nagkakaroon ng pseudocode. Okay? Let's say for example, isusulat mo. Okay, anong gagawin? Paano ba gagawin? Okay? Parang ganito. So, ikikwento mo muna. Okay, kikwento muna yung scenario. Ganito. Yung enrolled subject, paano ako makakakuha ng enrolled subject to? Nakalimutan ko yung COR, 'di ba? Or yung registration, nakalimutan ko. Okay? Yung proof mo, kailangan ng proof na doon ka talaga naka-enroll. Syempre, COR yung kailangan, magte-text ka lang. So, ganito ang ikikwento mo. So, again, yung pseudocode is a English-like statement. Ikikwento mo ngayon kung ano yung mangyari. Okay? The student, okay, will text the system, and then, if the system, or the system will check if the student exists, and then, if the student exists on the database, the system will check if the student is enrolled on that subject. Okay? Pag enrolled yung, or if the student is enrolled on that semester, pag enrolled yung student, okay, i-check niya kung ano yung mga subjects. Okay? The system will check what is or what are the subject of the student. Ayun, kwento mo. Okay? Ngayon, i-convert mo yan into code. Okay? So, ayan, nakwento mo. Okay? Yung process. Ayun yung process. Ayun yung gagawin. So, effectiveness. So, i-convert mo into code. And then, input algorithm must take 0 or more input. So, definitely, magti-trigger yan. Ano ba yung magiging input mo para mag-trigger? Okay? When you execute the program, okay? So, in-start mo na. Okay, anong input mo? Yung text. Okay, yung keyword. Ito yung keyword. Kailangan makita mo yung keyword tsaka yung student number niya. Okay, ayun po yung input mo. Ayun yung magti-trigger. Okay, para mag-process. Trigger, then automatic na siya magka-process. So, keyword tapos yung student number. Sabay text. Pagka-send, yun na yung trigger mo. Yun na yung input mo. Okay, pa-process ngayon ni system. Automatic po yun, Then, output mo, so, magpo-produce siya ngayon. Ibibigay niya yung subject. Okay? Bibigay niya po yung subject. So, for you to at least have your result, have your output. Okay? Then, okay, notation for programs. Okay, decide how to describe our algorithm. So, paano di-describe? Explain mo. Then, for you to come up with your name. Okay, specify our algorithms by giving a corresponding program. So it does not really matter which will structured language the reader prepares, and then use phrases in English in our programs. This makes for simplicity and clarity. Okay, then let's say, for example, in this case, okay, we have here some simple examples. Okay, so designing an algorithm for a problem. So let us consider the problem of verifying a given, if a given number n is a prime, as an example. So the possible ways to solve this problem are as follows. Okay, so 3 different ways to solve the problem. Okay, example 1.1, algorithm 1, check for prime. Okay, so input a number n, output number n is a prime or not. Okay, method, okay, for all k is equal to 2, 3, 4. Okay, n minus n. So, if, okay, so ito yung pseudocode po ito, if n mode k less than equal to 0 or less than greater than 0, then n is a prime number. So, else it is not a prime number. So, ito yung algorithm ends. So, ito yung example. Then, another example 2. Okay, or another algorithm 2. Okay, check for prime, input the number n is a prime or not. Okay, for all k is equal to 2, 3, 4, n, okay, over 2. Okay, so kasi kanina n minus 1. Okay, so yan po. So n minus 1. Ngayon, okay, n over 2 or divide by 2. Then, if n mode k is less than greater than 0, then n is a prime number. Else it is not a prime number. Algorithm ends. Okay. Then another algorithm. Okay. So check for prime. A number n is a prime or not. Okay. So method for all k is equal to 2, 3, 4. So square root n. So another. Okay. Another method. Okay? So, if n mod k less than equal or greater than 0, then n is a prime number. Else, it is not a prime number. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, okay, every problem has a different solution, has a different algorithm to do. Okay? Kaya nga in my 10 years of teaching, okay, nakikita ko or marami na ako nakita na case na yung problem or yung solution is magkakaiba. Okay? Magkakaiba talaga yung thinking ng bawat gumagawa, ng bawat student. Okay? So, kagaya niyan, okay, may option ako, okay? Or may solution ako. Ito yung solution ko, okay? And then, nasagot ko, ito yung solution ko, ito yung algorithm ko. Isang student, nasagot niya, ito yung solution niya. Nung tinignan ko, yung code, kinumpare ko, magkaiba kami. Then, another student, ito yung solution niya. Tinignan ko yung code, magkaiba rin. Okay, magkakaiba kami tatlo. Okay? So, ganun po. Okay? So, again, magkakaiba ang solution for each problem. Okay? When you develop a system. Okay? When you develop an algorithm. Okay? Kaya may option A, option B, option C, and so on. Okay? So, again, ano yung mas okay? Parehas lang naman ang output eh. Di ba? So, ayun po. Okay? Again, so para basta mailatag mo lang or maayos mo lang yung step-by-step process, ito yung okay, magiging maayos yung program mo. Okay? Then, puro parehas naman na yan. Okay? So, summary. So, in this lesson, so we have introduced algorithms, a glimpse of all the phases we should go through when we study an algorithm and its variation was given. So, in the study of algorithms, the process of designing algorithms, validating algorithms, analyzing algorithms, coding the design algorithms, and then verifying, debugging, and studying the time involved for execution were presented. Okay? So, again, medyo mahirap gumawa ng algorithm. But then, if you're eager to, okay, you can produce one. Okay? Hanggang sa dumami na, 2, 3, and so on, hanggang sa makagawa ka, hanggang sa makapag-develop ka na ng buong system. Okay? Hanggang sa maintindihan mo na yung flow ng system na yun. Makita mo pa lang, yan, makita mo lang yan. Short glimpse. Okay, alam mo na yung gagawin. Okay? Let's say for example, may magpagawa siya ng system. Okay, kinikwento sa'yo, alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Nabivisualize mo na, na-analyze mo na possible pala. Okay? So, yun po. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. So, hope you have learned a lot. Okay? So, thank you for listening.